I'm not always scared to go to sleep at night, but when I am, it's because I've seen something spooky on TikTok.
It is 1:27 in the morning and I've connected to my neighbour's Bluetooth speaker just to prove. It is 1:27 in the morning. I'm connected to my neighbour's Bluetooth speaker. As you guys have requested, Tiptoe Through the Tulips, I think it's called.
Don't try this at home,
really
okay? Don't do this. When that person sees this video, you're done.
This imaginary game we're all playing where we pretend to be someone we're not at work.
Right.
So we can get money that we pretend is valuable. So we can pay for our house that we pretend to own. And we can watch people pretend to be something else on social media.
Sounds like Buddy's about to flip out pretty soon.
And we listen to a government that's pretending that they care about us, and we're going to a store to buy food that they're pretending is healthy. What the fuck?
What's going on?
She's having a seizure. She's sunk. She's in the water.
Oh, come on. Hop in. I'll bring you over there.
Hurry.
Okay, hop in. Shove that over. 6.
Hurry up. What is taking so long?
I've got a car in the water right here on the south side of the overpass on 87. There's somebody in it.
Excuse me, why is he driving so slow?
Come on.
What do you mean, come on? So he can watch his mother drown? Are you crazy? What is this? Oh my goodness.
Is she in there?
This is traumatizing to that poor bub. Oh
Is
my
somebody
goodness.
in there?
Is she in there? Who? Hold up. They almost made me say a cuss word. Who do you think is in there? And why are you yelling like the person underwater is gonna suddenly respond to you? Are you kidding me right now? Jump in the water and get the person out of the freaking car. The baby said that she's having a seizure. Why are you? I'm done. I'm done. Done.
Look out, buddy. Look out. Is the car unlocked?
You're gonna perform
Look
CPR?
in the driver door in the panel. There's a little blue or black punch in the driver door.
Oh my goodness, hurry up. I'm about to ooh.
No, it's in the driver door. Look in the driver door in the panel. I got a window punch.
I swear.
The driver door.
Just run and get it yourself. They don't know what you're talking about.
Move.
Look how slow he's going. I'm done.
She caught a seizure. I tried to help her.
Hurry up.
Dang it there.
Oh, now you run? What is this crap?
Here, I got a punch. Here.
So I'm just now finding out that the English language is...
I'm definitely not going to be able to sleep tonight. I want to know what happened to this lady, and I don't know where that video is. Oh my goodness. You guys, help me out here. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below, because that really had me terrified. Terrified.
a bunch of spells and curses, and William Shakespeare never existed? Hold on. Y'all, I'm literally in my robe about to give you the tea. So I remember seeing this video like a year ago about how the English language is full of curses. And that would make sense because we spell things. We are taught cursive, curse, spell. That's already fishy. It's already being sold to me, but I had to find out more. Then I find out about Sir Francis Bacon, and apparently he ran an occult group called the Spear Shakers.
I cannot. I cannot take this seriously. Sir Francis Bacon. Stop it. Okay. All right.
That actually impersonated William Shakespeare that we've all learned about in history class. And Francis Bacon and his occult group is actually responsible for putting at least 1,700 words in the English language. I'm sorry, what? I'm just confused because I thought William Shakespeare was married to Anne Hathaway. Like, we're gonna make another video on that. Then I heard about the breakdown of you being awake. You're at a wake. And when you're awake, you say good morning, which morning is what you do at a wake. The weekend is the end of weekdays, like days that you feel weak. You go to work to earn money. And what does the body go in after it's unalived and earn? Okay, even if that's a stretch, y'all know that the enemy rules Hollywood, right? Why am I just finding out that Hollywood is named after Hollywood, which is what they use for like wands and spells and rituals and stuff? And there's literally a blood drop right outside the Hollywood sign that supposedly is painted with real blood. Y'all, it's a whole thing, and I'm falling down the rabbit hole. Do you want to come with me is the question.
Yes.
And another thing I saw is the fact that all of our slang is centered around negativity, like I'm weak, I'm dead, that's sick, you're killing me. So what I'm hearing is we can't even speak now. That's the vibe I'm getting. All 2025, I'm mute. That's my resolution. I'm not talking
First of all, who speaks like that? I mean, proper English. Hello.
no more. At this point, all you can do is laugh. As always, make sure you guys like and follow and comment down below what you think. Is this a reach or are we on to something?
You mean to tell me that MrBeast wanted to do real life Squid Game so badly that he took the insane amounts of money that he has and built an entire stadium so that he could drop people into pits when they lose, like a cartoon? 1,000 pits. 1,000 pits for people to fall into is what he built. Oh no, but that's not all. He also built an entire city that is reminiscent of something out of a young adult science fiction novel. Oh, but he didn't stop there either. He also bought a private island for people to compete for and on. Oh, but that's not it either. The prize of Beast Games is $5 million, which is supposedly the biggest game show prize in television history. But like, there's only a few episodes and he's already like well over $1 million, if not like $2 or $3 million, just in like smaller prizes of like bribery games and stuff. The sheer amount of money that he has is already alarming enough, but the way that he interacts with the contestants is insane. Like the way he looks at and talks to people, you can tell that he is interacting with these human beings as if they were little ants in his little ant maze at home. Like, he speaks to these people the way that you would speak to a 7-year-old who's, like, telling you what they learned in science class today. And you know that, like, half of what they're saying is not actually true and they just, like, misremembered a bunch of the facts. Like, just because he gives away money doesn't make him a good person.
True.
And I think if you, like, pay attention or, like, investigate what he's doing even slightly, you would be like, electric chair.
I don't see anybody.
That's extreme.
Okay. I think I gotta get out of here. I think there's one individual here somewhere. I don't get the sense that there's many, but I get the sense that there's like at least one. I don't see anybody.
What's going on?
They just noticed me. They just noticed me. I don't know if they're coming.
Or
Whoever that is right down the path. I think I'm gonna make a...
what's going on with him? Is he, no offense, I mean it really, but like, is he just being paranoid? What's going on there?
run for it when I can. Oh, I think someone's trying to
girl named Mal emailed me her story about her freaky landlord in college, and I have no words. I don't even know what to think, so I'm just going to tell you what she said. While she was in college, the pandemic hit, and her campus was not allowing students back on campus as she was going into her sophomore year. So her dad didn't want her to work from home because he thought she was going to get distracted, so he rented her a long-term Airbnb in Macon, Georgia. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not from there. Don't yell at me. So he picked out the place. It was a duplex in the historic part of town, and her unit was attached to another unit, which was the landlord's unit. Each unit in the duplex had its own front door, so separate entrances, but they shared a front porch. And then her unit also had a back door. Because it was an Airbnb, the entire unit was furnished, so that was cool. But it was decorated a little oddly. Like, there were photos of George, the landlord, all over the unit. And in some of the photos, it was him and Ted Cruz. He apparently was campaigning for Ted Cruz. But also, in the photos, George, the landlord, was heavier and better looking. And when she met him in person, he was, like, gaunt and pale and, like, a little bit twitchy. She didn't really think anything of it. She was just like, okay, this guy's really proud that he knows Ted Cruz. Nothing else about the unit was strange, except for the fact that her bedroom also had a door that was attached to his unit. Like, you know, those adjoining hotel rooms, like that. But he assured her that he had no access and it was permanently locked. She's living there for 2 weeks when the smoke detector starts going off, but it's not from actual smoke. It's just from the batteries being dead, but it's a really, really high ceiling, so she can't reach it. So she texts George and she's like, hey, can you come bring a ladder and like fix my smoke alarm? He goes, sure. This is at like 10 p.m. He texts her at 11. He says, I'm on my way, but he never shows up. He doesn't text her back until the next night at 8 p.m. And he says, hey, are you home? And she says, yes. Meanwhile, this beeping has been going on the entire day. And he says, okay, what's that beeping coming from your unit? And she says, this is the smoke detector that I texted you about last night. And he says, okay. He shows up finally the next day, and he brings a ladder and he goes to fix the smoke detector, and they realize it's not actually the smoke detector, it's a carbon monoxide alarm. And he starts laughing at her and calling her an idiot. So after he fixes it, he's like not leaving, and he's still just laughing at her, making fun of her, basically talking crap. And she's like, you know what, my boyfriend's coming over. If you could leave. He comes over a lot. And she said like he didn't really, but she didn't want him to think that she was there alone because she was just like weirded out. George finally leaves. A week later, she's making breakfast when she hears a knock at the door. She looks through the peephole and she sees a man dressed head to toe in black with a hood covering his face, and he's yelling for George. And so she yells back through the door that George is in the next unit over, and the guy just like stands there for a minute and then goes next door. She texts George basically saying like, hey, there's a guy at my door looking for you. He just texts her back, thanks. A couple hours later, he texts her and he's like, hey, there's some people coming by later. They need to get into your unit because your unit has attic access, and that's the only way to get up there. They need to grab some stuff. She's like, that's fine as long as I'm home, but nobody comes over. Couple days go by and a woman starts knocking at her door. She answers, and the woman is like very confused because she's like, where's George? She's like, George lives in the unit next door. And then there's this whole back and forth before they realize that that's the woman coming to get something from the attic. So she takes her inside. She said the woman was nice, but a little bit awkward because she really had no idea what was going on. She brings her to the attic. The woman goes up to the attic and comes back with a toy doll. That's it. And then leaves. For the next few weeks, George started sending Mal like very erratic and strange text messages. Like he would say, we're going to have a problem if you keep cooking food that smells so good. Or he would be like, do you want me to wash your clothes for you? Because her unit didn't have a washing machine. So he said that he would take her clothes to wash in his unit. And she was like, no, that's fine. Like, I'm just going to go to a laundromat. He would text her things like, hey, are you home? I need to come over and fix tile or like another small thing around the house. And she'd be like, yeah, I'm home. Come on over. And he would just never come or text her back. Mal said George started paying unhoused people to move random junk to and from the front porch that they shared. So in one circumstance, she got home and there was like a piano on the front porch. In another circumstance, it was children's bikes or a set of broken up lawnmowers. But sometimes the people would just like hang around, which kind of weirded her out. She didn't really know what he was like doing with all of this stuff. She said she mostly tried to ignore these people, but some of them seemed like very unstable and it freaked her out. In one occasion, she beeped her car door to lock it, and one guy that was standing outside covered his ears and started screaming. She also, on several occasions, found feces outside of her front door. But luckily, this lease was only from August till November. So she's coming up to the end of her stay there. And a few weeks before she left, George texts her one day and he says, hey, can I come over? I need to get some stuff and move some stuff around from the attic. She's like, sure. It was like 5 p.m. But in typical George fashion, he does not respond until 8 p.m. And he's like, hey, is it still cool if I come over? And she was like, you know what? It's getting late. And he goes, you know, please, like, I just need to do this stuff tonight. And she's like, okay, but hurry, like, make it quick. And she says, to her horror, the bedroom door opens in her room. The door that George swore was permanently locked. He walks in with a dirty, filthy backpack and he's like, take it. And she's like, what is it? And he's like, take it. And I just keep imagining the scene from Seven where they're like, what's in the box? Like, she's like, what's in the backpack? And he's like, take it, open it up. And so she throws it down. She's like, I'm not going to open it. Like, because she's envisioning like horrible things in this backpack. And he's just standing there like smiling at her. And finally he's like, okay, it's just a bag of knockoff designer sunglasses, but I'll sell them to you for $40 each. And she's like, no. So he's like, fine, whatever. Walks out the back door with the backpack, puts it in his car, and comes back with a bunch of like dirty rolled up rugs to take up to the attic. At this point, she thinks he's on schmugs, and she's just like, okay, my boyfriend's coming over, like, hurried up. And he's taking his time taking these rugs up there. Like, he's talking to her about nepotism, how it's ruining the government, starts rambling about UNICEF. He tells her he's writing a manifesto and he's going to give her a copy. And she's like, my boyfriend's coming over, like, you need to leave. And he starts telling her that her boyfriend's in India and that he needs to get punched in the face. She takes a firmer stance. She's like, you need to get out of here, like, now. And he just stares at her and then he backs away and leaves. So she puts furniture in front of the doors and like calls her best friend crying and tells her boyfriend that he needs to come over, like, now. Okay, so she's finally moving out and she's packing up all her stuff. She drops something into the cushions of the couch. And so she reaches in there to get it out and she feels something. It's a big object. So she pulls it out and she realizes it's a giant kitchen knife wrapped in a towel slid underneath the couch cushion. She just stares at it for a second. She's like, I'm not effing dealing with this, and puts it back. She goes upstairs to check underneath the bed to make sure she didn't forget anything there. And she finds another towel that matches the one that the knife was wrapped in, but it's covered in a weird substance, something reddish brown and dried. She said she assumes it was dried blood. So she throws it back. She texts George. She's like, I'm leaving now. He texts her, great. I'm going to come over and do a walkthrough of the unit to make sure he didn't steal any sinks. She texts him back. She's like, cool, I'm waiting for you to come. My car is packed. She waits for him until noon. He doesn't come. She waits a couple more hours. She texts him. He doesn't respond. He doesn't answer anything. He never comes. So she just leaves. She never hears from him. A month later, she texts him saying like, hey, what's up with my security deposit? She texts him a few more times over the next few months asking about her security deposit. He totally ghosts her, never responds. She's like, cool, I'm not getting that back. A year later, out of the blue, he texts her and he's like, hey, the unit's ready if you want to come rent it again. She leaves him on red, obviously. She says now that it's been so much time, she laughs about it, but actually it was really, really scary living there and you just never know where you're moving. Mal's name has been changed, but the city, Macon, that happened in is real. So be careful if you live there. I've also had a really weird landlord who would just like walk into my place unannounced in college. So there's some real weirdos out there. Let me know if you have anything that's happened to you that freaked you out. And keep sending me your spooky, scary stories and I will keep adding them to this playlist. Also, I have polls on my Insta every day if you want to vote on the next story I tell.
The secret of every great look is a great hairstyle. And great hairstyles begin with Ultra Sheen.
I couldn't wear a natural. But Mama, you'd look younger in a natural.
You will look younger with your beautiful natural hair, so why not do it? And do it right with Afro Sheen. Nothing gives you tangle-free styling like Afro Sheen Comb Easy Conditioner. And for a fro that's really laying, use Afro Sheen Hairspray for Sheen. Dynamite. A younger look is yours with a natural. A beautiful natural is yours with Johnson's Afro Sheen.
What's happening?
A natural explosion from Afro Sheen.
A natural what?
The new Afro Sheen blowout kit.
Yeah, it gets rid of tangles and leaves your fro fuller and fluffier.
But
That's crazy. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.